Hey guys, Andrew from McNasty Customz. Here's a little bit of a different video that we don't normally bring you with this 1991 XR80. So there's a story behind this. Once we heard about it, we reached out a little bit to see if we could do anything. 11-year-old Ben. Two bikes were stolen out of Marion, Mass. Ben and his father Tom's YZ250. This is the only one that they got back. Now, the deal behind this was a couple years ago, Ben's dad, Tom, passed away. And this was something that Tom and Ben shared together, was the motorcycles and so on. So I reached out to see if I could help in any way. The mother described this as unrideable, really only because they don't know anything about it, and it has a front flat tire over here, and they didn't really know anything about it. So I got the bike down here and I wanted to go through it. Ben doesn't know this thing's being gone through right now. And it's coming up on the 2-year anniversary of his dad, and we're gonna try to get it back to him as soon as possible. So, apparently there's some broken spokes in this back wheel here. We're gonna re-spoke the wheel, we're gonna pull the tires, rims off, we're gonna put tires on it, and we are going to replace all the plastic on this machine, and we are gonna restore somewhat the gas tank because it's gouged up, and we're just gonna get this thing back to being a nice rider. And then whatever Ben decides to do in the future, hold on to the bike, put it aside, whatever he wants to do, that's up to him. So we'll jump into this thing and we'll see what we have when we are done. We can show it up real close. We'll pull it away. Whatever. Okay. So now, you saw all those scrapes. You saw everything there. Let me see, it's gone. You can see they're all completely gone. You can see how white this plastic turned out. Grinding the rust off the rear wheel now. First we did the front one, now the rear one. So replacing a few of the spokes that were broken. We've got a spoke kit. Now they weren't all broken, but just a couple of them were. You hear anything pissing out of there?
Nothing.
It's good. So, on to this phase of the bike. So we sanded down the frame, swing arm, engine, rear shock, and a few other things. And we touched them all up with paint. And like we said before, this is not a restoration, this is a going through. So we are painting up this rider of a bike just to make it nice is what we're doing. So we once overed everything, quickly cleaning it up. It's not perfect, but it's good for what what the purpose of this whole ordeal is going to be here. So we got some of the pegs painted. We got one of the pegs painted. We got the kickstand painted. We got the shifter painted. We got this peg painted but not on. We touched up the rear shock. You can see the rear rubber. We replaced that, and then we painted the little inserts and everything, cleaned those, painted those, put new bolts in those. You can see down there the kickstand and so on. This bike didn't have a skid plate. It came in with no engine skid plate, which on an XR80 and XR100 is pretty crucial because the bottom of the engine block is just showing without that. So we picked one of those up. We are waiting for the new chain to come in. You can see the shocks all cleaned up and everything. You saw earlier in the video where we cleaned up the gas tank, so that's sitting here ready to go. We're gonna sandblast the exhaust, I believe, and powder coat that. You can see the old plastic there. And the new plastic here, just waiting to go on. But the next step, really, is the brand new tires, tubes, and we re-spoked the back wheel and got that all set and ready to go. So, here's where we are right now. That's the status, and we're about to start reassembly. You need to install the brakes so you don't break into something and steal something, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so I'm just going to give you a quick once over of everything we did to the bike real quick just to clean it up. Now, we said in the beginning of the video, just like we're going to say again, this was just a quick fixer-upper once over. This was not a restore that we put through our shop or so on. This is just a volunteer donated once over to make a nice rider. So hopefully Benjamin can choose to do whatever he wants with this bike. If he wants to ride it or put it away, or you know, whatever he wants to do, that's up to him. So some of the things we left original. We left the original seat cover, even though it has a couple small little areas in it. We cleaned this up. We scrubbed the seat cover, so it has one little area right here. This is the original seat cover that was on the bike, and we just didn't want to, you know, replace absolutely everything. We want to leave some of the original stuff on the bike, so it's still partially original to what he originally had. You can see we cleaned up the tank. We have a tank video up on our channel of showing you how to fix the tank as well, so you can watch that. You can see we put the XR stickers on there. We wire wheeled, sandblasted, sanded a whole bunch of these parts. And then we touched them all up with paint. So you can see we went right through the exhaust. We touched the exhaust up after we sandblasted it. We touched the motor up. We touched the frame up. We touched up every piece, including the brake lever, the pegs, the shifter, the kickstart, the entire rear brake assembly, the swing arm, the shock. We put 2 brand new tires on this bike. We re-spoked the back wheel. We adjusted all the brakes. We cleaned the rims up a little bit. These are the original fork boots, so we left those alone. We put every piece of plastic on this bike except for the handguards, which you can't buy. So we fixed the handguards. I plastic welded the handguards and fixed them the best we could, so the original handguards are still on the bike. We touched up the throttle, the levers. We touched everything up so it's clean. We left the original bars. Come around here, you can see how clean the frame is. We replaced what bolts it needed. This bike did not have a skid plate when it came here, so now it does. We put a new chain slider on there. It's got a brand new chain. It's just a beautiful piece. So we're very happy with how this turned out. We like what we're looking at. And here we are, guys, at the end of this XR80 project. So this bike is ready to return to Ben, and at this point it is his to do whatever he wants and choose to do whatever he wants, but it is now rideable. I'd like to reach out and say thank you to the people that contributed some parts and time to this build. We thank you very much. Guys, if you see something like this locally, local Facebook page, local forum, local something, and you have the ability to reach out and help, you can do exactly what we did here. You saw that we didn't go crazy on this bike. We just took our time, we put a little money into it, and we cleaned everything up and painted it. If you find some young kid that had an issue or something like that in your area, reach out and maybe you can actually leave a very good impression on somebody and can keep the young kids in this sport alive. I was around Ben's age when I started out on dirt bikes themselves, and my very first bike was a 1980 XR80. So this one kind of hit home, and I said, let's just see what we can do. So if Ben chooses to ride it, put it away, do whatever he wants, at least the bike's in tip-top condition and ready to go. Everything's replaced and ready to go. Guys, we have other repair videos on here on our content, and we have other repairs to other bikes as well. So if you enjoyed this video, please check out, subscribe. We really appreciate it. We're trying to grow this channel, and we're trying to get a few more projects in here that actually mean something. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Like and subscribe.